I wanted to raise something else that has popped up today about China. It looks like China's bid for expansionism in the South China Sea hasn't waned. Australian warships have reportedly encountered the Chinese Navy in that hotly contested region during a voyage. The Chinese are there illegally, as we know, as we were reminded by the Americans only recently, but protect this region with great deal of might. Stephen Conroy, I wouldn't have wanted to be on an Australian ship, no matter whether it was a warship, as I saw a Chinese fleet come over the horizon. Would you?
No, look, I think the Australian Navy is doing a fine job. As you may remember, I called for a FONOP, as they're referred to, Freedom of Navigation operation, back in 2015-16, when I was Shadow Defence Minister, and Matt will remember that. And I was criticised by members of the current government at the time. I was a rogue, I was on my own. But look, the Australian Navy are doing a great job. We need to build relationships through the Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, Japan, India, to support the international rules-based system. China have made it clear they have no intention whatsoever of abiding by the international rules.
Yeah.
They take the view that might is right. And for those Australian companies who will criticise commentary that says we should diversify, if you're engaged in a commercial contract with China today, you're engaged in sovereign risk. The Chinese government will not honour it if it decides it doesn't want to honour it because of political purposes. It wants to try and put pressure on Australia. Matt is dead right, and you, that we have to build some degree of self-sufficiency. It will be tough. It will take time, but the sort of things that Matt talked about in terms of the manufacturing sector, don't export just the raw materials, let's build it here, is absolutely the path that Australia needs to go down, because it's prudent.
Yeah.
Because if you just leave yourself with one basic customer, you are actually putting an economic noose around your own neck.
Yeah, exactly. I want to talk about the South China Sea, though. I want to get back to that, Bronwyn. How's that going to end? We turn up on the edge of that region today, and they intimidate our ship.
We can't be intimidated. The Brits are going to put in a warship as well. The Americans are there. Japanese are there. We have got to be strong. We have got to understand that the aim of Communist China, the Communist Party of China, is to dominate the world. It wants to break the US dollar as the international currency.
Yeah.
It wants to see Australia as a vassal state. That means we kowtow, we prostrate ourselves, that we supply them with minerals and with food. Food is important as well. They can't feed their own. And they would then we would be slaves in our own country. We have got into this mess because we were prepared to take cheap goods from slave labour.
Yep.
And we have to be prepared to pay more. We have to be prepared to give our manufacturers a chance by giving them cheap energy, and it cannot come from those turbines which are imported from China, using our materials to build and then back to us, and then we, the stupid suckers we are, pay $660,000 per turbine to increase the cost of our power.
Right.
And in 20 years, they'll be relics, rust buckets. What are we going to do with them then?
Yes.
We have got to get some common sense back into this government. We have got to see the tendrils of the prime ministers we had that wanted to have these renewable energy from Rudd on and right through to Turnbull, where socialism crept into the Liberal Party. We have got to see it change, and we can't give up. So the boys and girls down there, Matt Canavan and the others, you've just got to keep working at it to make sure it happens.